Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of this What I Eat series. At this point, I'm really just making these What I Eat videos to remember recipes that I really enjoyed because sometimes I have no clue on what to make. So, without making this too long, let's just get into the video. So for this first recipe, I am seasoning some garbanzo beans / chickpeas to bake them in the toaster oven to make them crunchy. So sometimes when I make pasta, I use vegan butter instead of oil just to, help with the taste a little bit more. So I normally use it for creamy pastas like this one. Also, please do not burn your garlic like I did. This pasta is one of my favorite recipes these days. It's a creamy, garlicky lemon pasta, and I think it overall just goes to show that vegans can have cream pasta. So then I added the baked and crispy garbanzo beans on top of the pasta. One thing I've been doing more recently is adding my spices in when I saute my onions and garlic, and it just makes them a lot more fragrant throughout the meal. This is a veganized version of a quesadilla recipe that my sister always makes, so I thought, why not try it out? And it is very good. Like, it doesn't look that good, it just looks like a basic quesadilla, but it is very, very good. This is one of those meals that I make when I have no idea what to make, but I'm just really too hungry to cook anything. It doesn't look too appetizing, but it's very good. Also, make sure your bowl is big enough. So this is another creamy pasta recipe, but this time I'm going to try and top it with this breaded, crispy tofu. Please use a bigger pot for longer pasta, and as this is a creamy pasta, I am using vegan butter again. Also, I found this recipe on Instagram and I just remade it with vegan parmesan and coconut milk instead of heavy cream, and it's so good! The cheesiness and the spiciness of the gochujang just go together so perfectly. This is for any other oatmeal lovers out there. Please let me know if you are out there, because as far as I know, it's just me who can eat oatmeal every morning for breakfast. So this is just my basic morning matcha that I'm making with a whisk. But through a lot of trial and error, I realized that oat milk is the superior milk for a matcha latte. So patties being as big as they are in the Bahamas, I finally found one that I am able to eat, and it's actually a lot better than it looks. One food that I've really been liking as of recent is risotto, but I'm not confident enough to make it the authentic way, so I just used my leftover rice, but it still was very good. Also, I had leftovers and it actually was twice as good after I let it sit overnight in the fridge, I guess, to soak up everything. But if I were to make this again, I would omit the garbanzo beans or eat them on the side. At this point, you already know that they're my bean of choice because they're in practically every recipe. I think I really wanted meatballs this day, but it wasn't worth going out to the grocery store and finding some sort of plant-based meatballs that I would have to overpay for, so I decided to make them with some mashed potato. And this was actually the very first time that I've ever made mashed potato, even before I went vegan. At this point, the chickpeas were just losing their shape and I just gave up, and it was just, chickpea mush at that point. Rewatching this, I'm realizing that I haven't made this tomato tofu recipe in a very long time. So now I have an excuse to make it later. I feel like this recipe is so simple, but it's so good. First went vegan, I practically made this chili recipe like every week that it's now perfected at this point. It also has like a million different versions that I make based on what's in the fridge or what's in the pantry. Like I added quinoa and red lentils to this one. Also, one thing that I learned that helps to make this chili very good is to make your own vegetable stock. I did this like the day before, but I often do it about every 2 to 3 weeks just to add to different soup type recipes, and it just helps to make it that much better, especially because you know exactly what's going into your vegetable stock. Also, the best way to eat this is with fresh tortilla chips. And here we go again with the chickpeas. But honestly, it's such a versatile bean that you can like make anything with it. Here I'm making this chickpea patty, well, chickpea mini patties, and they are so good. I think the nutritional yeast really helps with the flavor, but I've been making these so often, and you can eat them with almost anything. I've also been loving this cast iron pan as of recently, but I need to remember that the heat is distributed very differently in this pan, so as you can see they are a little bit burnt, but again, they still were so good. And I just made them with these burnt, again, potato wedges. This was the first time that I made this recipe, and it honestly was just me experimenting because I really was like craving quinoa. I don't know who craves quinoa, but I just really wanted to eat something with quinoa in it. So I made this almost creamy quinoa type thing. But it has a very similar flavor profile to a lot of the pastas I make with crushed tomatoes and coconut milk. I think the difference between this and making pasta was just that I had to definitely keep my eye on it more to make sure that the quinoa was not sticking and actually cooking through. So I randomly found this clip recently, but I initially took this to add in my very first What I Eat, but rewatching it I just found it really funny, so I definitely had to add it in.
With a waffle fry, please.
What did you get?
A lime chicken sandwich and fries.
The point of this was really just to show that the only thing I can eat at Wendy's is fries. So now we have come to the end of this episode of the What I Eat series, and I hope to be making some more of these now that I am in a different location. So please keep your eye out for more What I Eat videos, and thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you in the next one. Bye! Can you say with a waffle fry?
With a waffle fries, please. No, I don't like that.